Hey, what is up, everyone? It is Rich. All right, welcome to a video. I'm shooting this video for Patreon, but I'm gonna upload part one to YouTube. So, I attempted to do a Frank Miller Sin City tribute video yesterday. I shot it, started watching it back. I didn't really like it, so I'll attempt it maybe another day or two. But it just, I don't know, for some reason it wasn't clicking for me. But anyway, I was doing some stuff on my phone, and I happened to pop onto Instagram, and I saw Pepe Larraz posted that issue 7 of X-Men had come out. And I love Pepe's stuff, and I hadn't really been keeping track of him over the last like 5 or 6 months. So it was really fun to catch up. And in my excitement to catch up, I was like, well, this would be a great opportunity to not only look at the work. So I haven't seen these pages. This is the first time I'm seeing them, and I figured I might as well do it in a video because it's for me. I always have to kind of justify if I'm spending time doing anything other than working, and it's like if I'm gonna look at the book, I might as well kill two birds with one stone. I'm really hoping that Marvel collects the stuff in an oversized hardcover. For Mark Silvestri's X-Men run, they did these books that are not omnibus size, meaning that they're thicker. I'm talking about like the scale is a little bigger. Like instead of a regular hardcover, they're maybe like 2 inches taller and a little bit wider. Because I here's the deal: is I don't just love Pepe's art, which I think he's phenomenal. I love Marte Gracia's colors. Anything he colors is I'm in. And there's a parallel between Pepe and another artist I love, which is Stuart Immonen. So Stuart and Pepe are probably my two favorite artists that I've kind of gotten heavily into, in particular since I started penciling. So the last like 16 months, we'll say, they're like definitely up there in terms of like they get a lot of I have a lot of respect for them. I really enjoy seeing their work, and the one similarity that they had is that Marte Gracia colored parts of their work that are kind of my favorite jobs that they did. So this is going to be really exciting for me. And I shot a video recently, and I was talking about the influence of Alan Davis, and it's interesting because I mentioned Adam Polina, and I said that there was a point in the '90s where there was a few styles of art that were happening, and Polina doesn't look anything like Alan Davis, to be clear, but this has a little bit of that Chris Bacalo look. It's got a little bit of the Carlos Pacheco thing, and a little bit of Alan Davis in it, and it's an interesting, like legacy. And I had mentioned when I said it in another video that I sometimes wonder how far back the person that I'm seeing that influence in goes, because they might not be into that stuff. But I mean, this is a good example of a piece that to me actually does have a little bit of that kind of mid 90s Marvel look, which is kind of cool in a way because it's real good stuff. And Pacheco, man, in particular, the first few years that I was seeing his work at Marvel, I thought he was really good. Sorry, let's get into this. I'm actually very excited to see this. We'll zoom in. Oh, hold on. Can I do? I should have actually done this in Photoshop. Let me see. Darn. It's such a good intro. I would hate to shit can this. View. Can I go full screen? There's got to be full screen. I've never actually. Give me one sec. I just want to see something. W? No. Let me like this back. Can you hide all the? I did it honestly in Clip Studio because a lot of times when I do these types of videos, there's gotta be full screen mode. Let me see something. Damn, I wanna go Carlos mode. All right, we're just gonna have to zoom in. I wanted to see this figure right here. It's really cool. Man, that is so cool looking. There's like there's all these artists now that they have the best poses. They're such exciting, like dynamic, like superhero poses. They're really fun to see, and it's helpful to me. I've really been pushed and pulled a lot of different ways with Crystal Planet, and I just have to draw so much stuff. I mean, it's really, really staggering how much content you have to put into kind of like a team book. It's like a war is going on. It's science fiction. It's a ton of shit to just like keep drumming up ideas. It's really, really fun. This is cool. I always feel like all a lot of these artists. I was gonna say all these guys, but it's not necessarily all of them. But I always see a little bit of Olivier Coipel in the work too. He's so good. I mean, it's hard not to, I think, be a fan of his at this point. This is nice. It's always interesting to see the different shots that these artists use too. For things, and he's actually got like he's going for a lot of like texture and stuff in this stuff. I was noticing a bit more than I remember in his work, but that might not be accurate either. Not just the screen tones, but there's like the smudgy look, and I'm nearly sure that he works digitally, but it's one of those things where I'm only guessing. So, and again, I'm going to actually go through probably 3 or 4 of these issues for Patreon. I'm just going to do the first issue for general YouTube, and I'll link to Pepe's Instagram and stuff. But definitely, I'm sure most people are following him, but man, he's so good. And I'll work on the Frank Miller videos. What I was gonna do is I was gonna do the 30th anniversary of Sin City Celebration, and then do Ronin, and then Dark Knight Returns, all from the Artist Edition books or whatever the different names they call them. But I thought that would be kind of fun. Do like a week of Frank Miller, and then also for people that might not know, February 6th, Sarah Frazetta is going to be on, and Kelsey, Sarah, and I are going to do Frank Frazetta birthday show. Frank's birthday is on the 9th, and we're going to do it a few days early. I think is a super fun Sunday. So that'll be cool. And that'll be live. Live. All right, this is cool. Nice hand. Mars. Punches it. The first time that I saw the smudgy pencil... Oh, God, I wonder if I'll remember this guy's name. Shoot, he was a Disney animator that was working for DC or Wildstorm. Oh, man, I can't remember his name. It was pretty cool seeing that look, though. Oh, man, it's so good. It was funny too is when I started Crystal Planet, I actually sent the colorist some examples from some of this work as ideas that I thought might look nice on Crystal Planet. He kind of went his own direction with things, but I gave it a shot because I kind of felt like it felt like it fit. Man, this is so cool. Yeah, hopefully everyone's doing well, and if you're an artist, hopefully you've been drawing a lot and keeping busy. This is cool, the lighting on this guy's face. Solid eye sockets. Oh, it's nice. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I'm just sort of soaking it in. Like I said, I haven't seen this, so it's exciting for me to see. Yeah, it's really, really good. Oh, man. Nice hand. And this is cool, too. The screen tones are holding up quite well. It's interesting too. Like he's keeping a pretty like loose like look. I can tell that these panel borders though are digital, but it's funny that like his crops, whatever you call it, like you see this like kind of falls out of the panel. It's not a big deal. It's just interesting. Even here, like he doesn't clean up his things. I don't know why, but I think I when I initially got hired at Wildstorm, I worked for Alex Garner for a little bit. Well, I honestly I stayed working with him even while I was doing my own work, but I assisted Alex on Gen 13 for about 16 issues, and was inking my own comics also at the time. But it was such a good opportunity to learn from him and to see J. Scott Campbell's work and stuff like that up close, that I stayed assisting him. But yeah, we would never leave like little stuff hanging out of the panel borders. Alex was far too much of a perfectionist. This is great. At times I get a little bit of like a Steve Rude vibe, but again, I think it's just more of a coincidence than anything else. Also kind of looks like Nexus. Nexus. This is cool. He's picking some tricky shots. All right. Oh, look at that. His work actually would look really cool in a black and white version of this stuff. I mean, I definitely would be interested in seeing it. Oh, Watkins. John Watkins? Watkiss, I think, was the name of the artist I'm thinking of, that I believe was maybe like some kind of an animator that would do comic work. And he was one of the first person I saw like with the interiors that would do smudgy stuff. And I know that it had been around far before that. I'm just saying my first exposure to the smudgy pencil look inside of a comic. Like a China marker kind of vibe. Yeah, this is really cool. It's when I see digital techniques like this, and I've had this thought in my head for many years. I'm talking like 15 years easily. I would see people digitally paint like colors and stuff like that, and I was like, well, if you did your study digitally so that you knew kind of what you wanted the looks like, these brights and stuff like that, you could definitely reproduce it traditionally. I mean, I've always kind of had that personality though, because even as a kid, way before I was in the comic books, I would see things in like photos, and my mind immediately would try to like think of like how you could draw it, how could you get that technique with like a tech pen. And I'm some real complex stuff, but I've always had that belief and stubbornness. So it's just kind of it just in my DNA. It's like, oh, you can't do that? Watch and see. That's the worst thing you can do, is tell me that something won't happen. I'll guarantee that it will happen. But yeah, I when I see stuff like this, these beautiful gradations and stuff like that, there's this part of me that just goes, I want to pursue that with traditional work. But it won't be that smooth. I mean, you could do it with an airbrush, but I'm telling you, this isn't a great example, but I've talked about this in the past. Like Alex Ross would send in originals to Wildstorm for Astro City covers, and so at different times when I would go into the scanner room, it wasn't uncommon to see 5 or 6 Alex Ross originals like sitting in there, and his execution of his pieces is insanely accurate. There's just, it doesn't even look like it was done by human hands. Travis was like that too. If you saw a really good Travis piece in person, it didn't look like a human had drawn it. You couldn't even tell how it got on the artboard. That's kind of like what Alex Ross's paintings would look like. You'd go, it looks like a print. How is where did he touch this? Where is, like, I don't even see the mediums. They're so smoothly applied. It's pretty incredible. Yeah, so cool looking. Oh man, his poses are cool. I've had to draw so many people flying in poses like this. I can't even tell you. Just in the last like probably 10 days, I don't even know. I've drawn I don't know, 100, maybe more. I don't even know. I don't keep count, but oh my god, small, big, medium, every freaking angle. It's god dang war. This is cool. This figure. He's doing man. He actually puts a lot of detail. Wonder how long this stuff takes him. Yeah, this is really wild. Oh man, yeah, those are good. Good poses. I knew this would come in handy. It's like I needed to see some art besides my own, honestly. Like it's been about 2 months since I've really looked at anything but staring at what I've been working on, and I sometimes will use music analogies, but it's the same thing. It's like if you sit and really try to pull every idea that you have out of yourself, whether it's with art or music or whatever, there's just a point where you hit sort of your maximum knowledge base that you have at that particular moment, and it's like at some point you kind of have to like refill the tanks with new stuff, and usually it's stuff that you're either you don't know how to do or you're not that good at it or whatever it is. There's a reason that you haven't acquired the information. Maybe you just haven't had time, but yeah, so seeing some good comic art will definitely be beneficial for the old idea things. It's funny when I draw legs like this. A lot of times I'll draw to about here, so I'll have oops, what pen I have. Maybe grab like a red color, but yeah, like I'll put in this. What is that? Oh, it's on eraser. I'll get about this much in, and then a lot of times I'll start with the bottom of the feet, believe it or not, and put in the soles of the feet, and then I work back up. It's a trippy thing, but it works well for me. Like if I don't know the angle of the foot that I want, I'll just put in the heels at the angle that I want, and then build everything out from there. Can knock it out super fast, super fast, lickety split. Oh, that's cool. Now I've got a pointer. You guys are in trouble. I'm gonna be pointing. This is great too. Look out! Rich has got a pointer. This is great. I love this curve angle on this. Yeah, man, it's nice. Oh, this is so much fun. He really blends a lot of different styles, and this stuff is pretty gritty. It looks like Michael Lark or something like that. Like it's just coming from him, though. I fully believe that it's just the demands of the job have him putting this stuff in. Man, this is great. This is awesome. This is really awesome. These characters are all cool. It's a very nice silhouette. This guy looks very cool. This is a great shot here. This is great. This is great. This is awesome. He did some pretty insane stuff. Stuart Immonen does too. I can kind of feel sometimes like maybe a digital layout to it. But Stuart, man, he had this one like thing. It was like this big round thing with like oh man, I don't even remember if it was like this, and it was this huge like it was like a 2-page spread, and like people would be about this big standing around this thing, and it had like a big oh shit, it had like a maybe like a ceiling over it with like girders or some shit. It was really really cool though, but I mean, again, you can lay this stuff out. Like I stay very true to my original thumbnails. Like whatever my thumbnail is, that's what I'm going with. I work it out that way. Because I think ultimately it's going to have more of a spontaneity to things. And I've said this before, I don't really have stock poses. Like, in fact, I feel like sometimes I have none. I think I'm acquiring some though now, but yeah, I don't really have any poses memorized. I just draw whatever the doodle is I'll just work that out. It doesn't mean that I can't figure out poses. The flying poses, I probably have some generics now. In fact, I was kind of curious. I drew something yesterday that was like that. I had to draw a guy falling, like a thin panel with someone going this way, like falling down. I drew the guy in a pose, and I had to do it like 2 issues ago, something similar. I was kind of wondering how close the poses were. I don't remember what the other one looked like. So I was gonna see, like, it'd be funny if it was the same pose. I kind of doubt it, but who knows? This is great. His use of lighting is actually very, very cool too. Like this kind of stuff. And it's interesting that he actually put the shadow on this side. This is beautiful. Oh my god. And he's got some really nice, like, fine rendering in here. You see this? It's cool. A little bit of screen tone over it. Very textural. Oh my god, look at this thing. That's cool. I'll zoom in on this. What is this? I always love this stuff. These holes with the lights sort of drop down into them. It looks really neat. Oh man, that's great. Damn you, X-Men, taking the only cool letter in the alphabet besides Z. The Z-Men. I don't know. R is kind of cool. I was thinking about that the other day driving somewhere. It's like, it's unfair that, like, people that are creating new stuff now, so much stuff has been used. Like, all the cool animals and insect names. It's like, first come, first serve. Now everything is like a hybrid. Carlos and I used to talk about that years ago. Like, there was a point where video games, it was becoming like you had to blend different styles, but sometimes they would end up being, I think, overly, like, too many aesthetics trying to be forced in. Say pick 2 and fuse them together. You start. Final Fantasy, I think, ultimately ended up kind of suffering from that a bit. The stuff just felt overworked. Man, this is some kick-ass shit. It would be really, really interesting to see what this guy would have looked like if he just penciled it and someone inked it, or he inked it traditionally. Almost like it would be interesting to see what someone else would do. Like, not digitally, I mean traditionally. Man, that's like, there's a lot of art in this color right here. That guy went to town. This is a really cool design. This is nice too. Oh, it's a great pose. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Hell yeah. Man, that's a great sequence. I like this face right here a lot. And this is good with the eye. Alright. Ooh, that's nice. So he 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels. Right? 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I said one of the things that I've struggled with Crystal Planet is the fact that there's generally 7 and 8 panel pages. It doesn't give me a lot of room to operate. 5, 4, and 6 seems to be quote unquote money. You can make stuff bigger and move stuff around. You have to be really, really creative with 7 and 8 panel pages. Again, so here's another one. It's 3, 4 panels, you know. It's hard to be epic in 7 panels. It's all this, like, you're always kind of doing stuff like this. You know, like these kind of layouts. Or, I mean, you can definitely do other things. But, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, things. I mean, there's lots of different things. And to be clear, don't. Someone asked me this the other day, because I really believe they probably hadn't done many pages, if any. But they thought that you do the panel borders first. Don't do that. Draw the story and put the panel borders around it. But yeah, like they're like, how do I know when to use like certain patterns of panel borders? I'm like, dude, you need to be reading the script. Oh man, look at that. Fuck yeah. Damn. Wow, that is so cool looking. I love the background. His pose is awesome too. This is great. Oh man, that's cool too. It's a big shoe. Man, that's cool. This is nice too. Damn, dude, this guy with his lighting. Love it. That's so nice. Wow. Yeah, it's only 2 panels. 2-panel page. Boy, oh boy. This is some cool stuff. Oh yeah, the first issue was a little longer. I was like, this is a pretty long issue, but I remember it as slightly oversized. Oh, that's cool. Bong. Do bongs. Just kidding. Don't do bongs. Oh, that's cool. Oh man, love this. Actually, I don't know if it's this issue or the 5th issue. I have to do a guy on a throne. I kind of picked a shot similar to that. He's a little farther up. I think he's like up kind of on a pedestal, like up here. So it's more of this kind of shot. Like him like way up, and the guy's like coming upstairs to him. Oh, this is cool. Da-na-na-na-na. Ooh, look at this. Hey. Unless this guy's outside the room, though, he wouldn't fit. Like, where's his body? Unless he's, like, laying. He's like, hey, fellas, how's it going? But, yeah, he's very, very large to be there. Unless, like I said, he could be outside a window peering in. I don't get the impression that he is, but... Let's see his little tiny legs. Suspend your disbelief, Rich. It's okay. Look at that. That's creepy. I feel like if I poked it, it would just completely, like, spill out something very, very gross. Like this, possibly. It worked. Oh, man, that is so sick. Damn. I love the way he's lighting stuff. He really puts some nice shadows. Without it feeling overly high contrast. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Man, that is so good. Boy, that is really, really cool. Yeah, that is really nice. I like the way he flared out the elbows. This one in particular, he took it out far, but it actually looks pretty cool. This is nice too. Man, look at that. That is so good. This is cool. Nice fist. And this is pretty neat how they knocked it out. That's nice too. Technology. All right, what do we got? Ooh, look at that. This is really good. That's a nice little panel right there. But again, this is a 4-panel page. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Lucky dog. it gives you, the thing too is a 4-panel page gives you time to actually invest some of your budget, which is time when you're a comic book artist, into this stuff a bit more. My opinion. But potentially, this is why I probably won't ever work with a writer again. I'm gonna write the movie and I'm gonna direct it. Do it the way I see it. But this was a good experience, so either way. But man, this is great. So what a fantastic first issue of the X-Men. Pepe Larraz, Marte Gracia. They are incredible. Incredible art team. We generally focus on art here, not as much the story. There's plenty of YouTube channels if you want to get into the nuts and bolts of the story. In fact, most of the story related channels, which I would say is a majority of the ones that if you see comic reviews on YouTube, it is not uncommon at all for them to not even mention the art team on them. I would say that that's more the norm. I've talked about this on Patreon more than on normal YouTube, but yeah, if you see someone show their like haul video, they'll talk about the title, they'll talk about the story, they'll say the writer's name, and sometimes they'll mention the artist. You're never going to hear the colorist or inker's name unless they're like a super fan. But, it's just the way that it goes. So, all right, you guys have a great day. I'm going to do one more of these videos for Patreon right now, and then I got to get to work. But this was actually really, really good stuff for me to see. And it just is not going to do you any harm looking at somebody who draws comic books this well and that they're colored this well too. Sorry, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you all later, and bye.